Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
We're in Parksville today meeting some of the energetic, enthusiastic, and engaged people who call this community home.
Restoring our maritime history in Ladysmith, pedicure predicaments, and a clocked adventure with Todd and Derek. That and more in the next 30 minutes.
You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are in Parksville and we are celebrating all of the energy that can be found by the permanent residents of Parksville, Qualicum Beach. We are right in the middle of the PQB Meetup, formerly known as a tweet up. And what it is, it's an opportunity for people to get together, to network, and to share. And today we're hoping to dispel some of the pre-assumptions that you might have about the Oceanside area. We're going to do that by conversation with some of the people who make this area great. But we're starting things off in Ladysmith today. A piece of Vancouver Island's maritime history has been preserved with a restoration of a boat called the Saravan. Here is Annette Lucas. Sometimes it's kind of hard to call this gig work, but it is. We're at Samurai Sushi in Parksville, hanging out with the crowd from the PBQ, Parksville, no, I'm mixing that up, Parksville, Qualicum Beach Meetup, formerly known as the Tweet Up, because it's way better to get together in person, even if most of your connection starts through social media. This guy here is Jonathan Michaels. He's lived in the area for about 7 years. Why did you choose to live here?
We were doing our research over the internet before there were websites for all the various towns, and the town of Qualicum Beach had the nicest website.
Oh, so it does come back to the social media and interactive digital world. But you were very purposely looking for certain criteria. You had a young family, and you could have gone anywhere on the island, really.
It came down to lifestyle. So there were a few different places on the island that really seemed to have a good quality of life. And then we started digging a little deeper, looked at the school system, and the schools in Qualicum Beach really came highly recommended. That sealed it for us. I came out for a single visit. I arrived just on the eve of the Moonlight Madness.
Right, which is coming up again at the end of this month.
Coming up again, and I was absolutely enthralled. I walked into that town, it was this cute little picturesque Norman Rockwell kind of thing. Carolers on the street, horse-drawn carriages. The only mistake I made is I assumed that was year-round.
Some places do celebrate Christmas year-round, right? Now, you lived in Saskatchewan for 15 years. You lived in New York for 18 years, and you've said that you feel more at home here in this community than anywhere else. Why is that? Why is that?
Oh, this has been. It's an inviting place to live. It's small. You get to you have an opportunity to. We've really grown our business, so it's been big enough to build a lifestyle, but small enough where you could be a real pillar of the community. If that's what you want to do, you can go and know everybody and have everybody know who you are.
Or hide out if you don't want to be seen in public at all, right?
No, no. You need a big city for that.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind being part of the community, this is definitely a community that'll embrace you.
I think there are a lot of assumptions that Parksville Qualicum is more senior oriented. We're going to talk a bit more about that later on, or that it's only a place to come and vacation. Do you think that's true?
Oh, it's been a wonderful place. I've raised 2 children here, created a business out of nothing. So as far as year-round living, there's no doubt that this is a great place to be. Highly recommend it. As far as being a senior community, well, there's clearly some truth to that.
Right.
The key here is that you can carve out your niche. There is enough stuff to do that if that is your goal, you can find something to do.
Okay, and we're going to talk more later about niches that are being carved out by local young entrepreneurs in the Oceanside area. That's coming up after a short break.
Still to come today on Go Island, the opposite of a foot fetish for Melanie, and On the Clock with Todd and Derek revisiting a favorite. That and more still to come today on Go.
Did you know that in Canada, of all of the people that die, approximately 70% of them die from largely preventable chronic diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, respiratory illnesses, and cancers. many of them preventable.
You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, having a great time networking with some of the people who make Parksville Qualicum Beach what it is. I had a little conversation here with Diana Jolly just now. She's with the Career Center in Parksville, and she says that people assume that most of the employment is resort and tourism driven, and that's actually not the case. There are a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of employers who hire people and keep people working year-round in this community, but in order to find those jobs, you need to meet and network with people that are here like this. The only way to do that is in person or through Twitter, and most of the jobs, she says, aren't advertised. About 80% of the opportunities are not posted. We'll be back with more from the meetup later on this edition of Go Island. We're heading over to Vancouver now. Melanie Leitner tries her hand as an esthetician at Absolute Spa, and I think she gets herself into some kind of pedicure predicament. I think it's way better to go to the spa than work at a spa. That's just my 2 bits worth. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is Sharon Sadowskis, and she is with Tourism Parksville Qualicum Beach. It's off season. Why are we talking about tourism in middle of November?
There's definitely
Because of people like this who get the community going and having fun, and that's what it's all about in the off season,
absolutely,
really.
and there's definitely a particular type of traveler that's actually drawn to that type of vacation where it's in the off season, the crowds are gone.
Yeah.
They feel that they get a really authentic experience when they visit the destination at that time.
Do you think people assume, and I keep playing it up, that Parksville is all about retirement and tourism? Because I don't get that sense here today at all.
No, absolutely. I think there's definitely that appearance out there, or that assumption, but there's a lot going on in terms of music community, engagement, connections. It's not all about retirement.
Is there, people come here to start businesses and fill niches a little bit. I'm going to put you on the spot because I didn't warn you about this question at all. Is there a niche that someone who's thinking about moving here can fill? From a tourism perspective, what do you need?
Good question. One thing I know that is in Qualicum Beach, we're having some really incredible shopping experiences happening there. Just the cutest little stores are coming in. And I think food, dining, that kind of thing, food and beverage, is a huge opportunity. Look at today here, it's so busy. And what is today, Tuesday? It's so busy here. And this is a new restaurant in town. And there's definitely all sorts of opportunity for that.
Excellent. And that always draws people, maybe a few more little boutique type shops here in Parksville. And I know there's been calls by the guy over there for a better quality seafood shop in Parksville, but that's another story. We'll be back with more on Go Island after a short break. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is Megan Olson, someone you should probably know if you spend any time in the Oceanside area. She runs Arbutus events. We had talked a little bit earlier about niches, and you started an entertainment promotions company bringing musical acts into town.
That's right.
A niche that needed to be filled.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring, I love music, and I just wanted to, get everybody loving music with me and sharing my joy for it.
And that wasn't happening before?
No.
And how's the response been?
It's actually been quite good. Every show I'm starting to see the same people there every time because they want to see what I'm bringing in. And it's just been really great. Yeah, the response has been good.
Putting you on the spot a little bit, but do you get any feedback from the bands and the musicians and the performers that you're bringing in when they come to the Oceanside area and go, wow, I didn't know this place was like this?
Exactly, and I think what it really is because I do intimate shows, and the bands are really starting to move away from the bars, and they're getting the more mature kind of audience that will buy their CDs, are more engaged with what they're doing, and really get into their music.
Okay, well, this wouldn't be a networking meetup, and it wouldn't be community TV if we didn't give you a chance to give a plug. You've got a big show coming up, a fair, something different.
Yeah, I have a craft market coming up. It's the 4th annual all decked out crafters market, and it happens November 15th from 5 to 9 in the evening, and that's a charity cocktail event. With your ticket for $10, you get a free cocktail, and $3 goes to charity.
Awesome.
So it'll be fun. And then the 16th is just shop all day from 10 till 3 at Nanaimo Resort.
And going backwards a little bit, when you say intimate, how many people are in an audience for one of those performances?
I would say 80 to 300, depending on the venue.
Not bad. I think that might stir a little bit of jealousy for some people putting on events in the harbor city, taking place all here in Parksville, Qualicum Beach. We're going to throw things over now to Todd Jones and Derek Johnstone. We're having another look at one of my favorite episodes of Clocked. I'm sending the boys, well, I can't tell you where because they've got to figure it out. The boys will be heading out this Friday for a new installment of Clocked. I'm still working on it because I want to stump them at least one more time. Every other time would be kind of a bonus. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. Before we leave for today, just a quick mention that the City of Nanaimo's Transportation Master Plan, they're looking for public input. They're having 3 open houses in the remainder of November. University Village on Friday, November the 8th, 3 to 5 p.m. Port Place, Saturday, November 9th from 10 until 12:30. And then finally, Woodgrove Center, Saturday, November 9th from 2 until 4:30. That's your opportunity to learn more and provide your input on the City of Nanaimo's Master Transportation Plan. Thanks for watching this edition of Go Island. We'll see you next time.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.